it's me again, Zeta. I'm here going to do a Omega tutorial today, how to use Omega on a logo head. This is logo specific. That's not to say it won't work on other heads, but a lot of different companies work a lot of different ways. So if this doesn't work for your head, I'm sorry. It's not the brand I made the tutorial for. Hopefully this will get everybody through Omega on logo, however. So as you can see, I'm at the logo store right now. I just wanted to go over a few things here at this location before I start on the actual tutorial. So this is the logo sim. When you land exactly where my avatar is now. If you turn to your left, you'll see a sign, main store. You're already at it. Down at the bottom is beach. It's just a nice hangout, poly built. You can hang out, take pictures, do whatever you like. And then here we have Applier Village 1 and Applier Village 2. Now this is really cool. Logo has let a bunch of designers get some booths on Sim so that they can display some of their work. There's not a whole lot on display in every booth, but it gives you an idea of what that creator does, and you can probably grab a landmark and pop back to their full store and see what there is there that might suit your avatar. So here we go. I'm going to just show you guys real quick. We're at the logo store. If you go straight in the door, you're going to see all the heads here. This is pre-bento, so there's 4 logo heads. We got Alex and Ethan up front, and then if we go through here, we got Chloe and Sadie following up behind. Now once you pick out which head you're going to get, if you decided that you're going to go Omega and you already know you're going to get a third-party skin from another skin store, you're going to want to go over here to the left, and right smack dab in the middle of the store, behind Alex and in front of Chloe, you have the logo Omega applier system. That's what's going to help your logo head take that third-party skin. This is how Omega gets their cut. You pay for this. Omega gets their money for being nice enough to make the script that makes our head work. And then your skins will work with logo. If you're not going to go the Omega route and you're going to keep one of the default logo skins, then the appliers are on the other side of the store. You got Matria here, your male slink is on the other side. Behind Matria you have your female slink. We've got our Beliza body, our Beliza body is right here. And if I turn around one more time, let's see if I can do this. Okay, there we go. And there's the Omega. Now if you have another body, Beliza, SL Ink, whatever, and you want to go with the bento hands from Vista. I know those take Omega. I think Tutuis, I can never say that, Tutis? I think T-U-T-Y''S. I know they have bento hands. I'm not sure what skin appliers they take. I would assume Omega, but don't quote me on that. So if you're looking at going with bento hands, you probably want to go ahead and get the Omega applier instead of one specifically for your skin, just because that way at least you'll have the hand appliers until Vista takes more options, I guess. So that is the logo store on the logo sim, and I don't have my draw distance up very high. Let's see if I can cam real quick. Okay, here we go. So here's one of the applier villages. Lovely, lovely. So you can see there's a lot of stores to peek through and see what you like and what's of interest and all that fun stuff. So if you get a chance sometime, make sure you come through Applier Village. You know, and there's even guys stuff here. I know the guys are always complaining, there's nothing for us guys. There's guy stuff here. So it might help you find some companies that you can TP back to their main store and see what other options they have, or go to their marketplace website or what have you. So, alright, now that I've gone over the logo store, I'm going to grab a redelivery because I realized that I have Sadie, but I have the 5.0. It's been upgraded to the 5.1 version. I'll go over this again one more time. Logo, between the 5.0, 3.0, any .0 version, and the 0.1 version, Max did a significant reduction on the render weight of the face. Basically, it just causes a lot less lag, a lot less wear on graphics cards, and it'll also keep you from getting kicked off of sims that restrict the amount of render cost you can have. So it's a really good thing to make sure you upgrade and grab that lower ARC head. So I'm going to head out of here real quick, grab this redelivery here from the Updates and Redelivery terminal right here in the store, And then I'm going to head back to my place and get started on showing you guys how to use Omega now that you have whichever head you want and you have the Omega installer kit. So see you guys in a minute. Alright, so hello there. Welcome. I've teleported back home from the store. I've got my Loco Infinity Sadie hybrid mesh avatar in my folder. I'm just going to add that. You can see I already unpacked it just to make sure everything looked okay, but I'm going to start from scratch right now. And so we're going to unpack this. And don't freak out. You're going to get a lot of folders. Just accept everything. That's kind of the easiest way to go about. Just click accept and close out all these things. Don't care. And then we're going to take that off. Now if I go to recent items, I have all these folders and it's like, oh my god, what do I do, right? If you're going to wear a logo skin tone, alabaster, almond, amber, bloom, cocoa, then you're going to want to keep these folders, whichever skin tone you've chosen. If you're going to go Omega, straight Omega, you're not going to use a logo skin tone, go ahead and delete them. You don't need them, you know you're not going to wear them, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of those since today's an Omega demo. The extras folder, I like to just drop in the master folder. Your extras folder and your master folder just have extra little parts and pieces, like you've got your emote backup HUD, which you'll remember from my first video if you've watched that. And then we've also got, you know, alphas and stuff like that. And then inside the master folder, you have mostly your note cards and all that kind of stuff. I know it says to put all your other folders in the master folder. I actually do the opposite and just drop my master folder into this Omega folder so that when I go to the Omega folder, I have all my information in my Sadie Omega folder. The only other thing you're going to have in there is the additional shapes. If you need a shape, go for it. I use my own shape, so that's not necessary for me. I'm going to delete that as well. So now I've got my Omega folder. Now what I need out of the Omega folder, I'm going to need eyes, hair base, the HUD, eyelashes, eyelids, makeup, the face obviously, and teeth and tongue. Alright, so I'm going to grab all that stuff and I'm going to go ahead and add that. I'm going to get this all up here so you guys can see what's going on. And here, let me move this up a little bit so you guys can see my inventory a little better. And I'm going to grab this HUD here. I prefer my HUDs over on the other side of my screen. Whatever works for you. Everybody does things their own way. So the HUDs here, I'm not going to go over the HUD too much. You can explore that and you probably already have with your demo, but if you look here you'll notice that a lot of things aren't there for Omega. You're going to have lashes, eyes, and hair bases. Everything else is going to be something you get through Omega from a third-party supplier. Whatever makeup company you like, go for it. But the logo makeups do not work on the Omega head. You can, however, use Omega makeups on a logo head by following these steps and then just taking your makeup and tattoo layer and putting it over top of your logo alabaster, amber, whatever skin tone you like. For right now, you're going to see I'm going through the last panel of the HUD, and it's just got your color chart here if you have anything tintable that you want to tint. You've got your ear style here. You can hide the ears if you have some other ears you want to use, or there's 3 different styles. It's mostly kind of how far they stick out from the head. And then your neck sizer, you're going to see me use that a little bit later if you stick with the video. But right now I just want to go over how to use Omega so that people who just want to get their head on and get going can do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of this HUD. I don't need it. What I do need to find is my Omega installer, and since I bought that previously, I have to find it, actually. So let me see where my Omega installer is. Come on. There we go. Omega System Installer. So I'm going to add this. Let me get rid of that. And now you'll see I'm going to click on this, and everything that I'm wearing, everything that I put on right here is going to chatter back. Well, not everything, actually. There are a couple things that aren't Omega, but everything that needs to be activated will chatter back at me that it is active. So you're going to see right here I've got Omega Mesh Face, thank you for activating the Omega system. Omega Makeup and Tattoo Layer, thank you for activating hair base, eyelashes, eyes, and the makeup and tattoo layer. So I might actually be wearing 2 of those by accident for some reason. Let me see. Yep, see, I still have an Alex makeup tattoo layer on for some reason. Sorry about that, guys. Anyhow, you should only have 1 makeup layer chatter back to you. Something you can also do if you're really paranoid and OCD, give it another click, let it go again, make sure you got face, makeup, tattoo, hair base, eyelashes, and eyes. So that's 5, face, makeup, tattoo, hair base, eyelashes, and eyes. 5 items should chatter back to you, and that means you are all set and ready to go. So what do we want to do first? Obviously we would like a skin on our head, right? So if I'm going to use an Omega skin, I need to find my Omega applier, and here we go. I'm using the Pink Fuel Kiyomi. So I'm going to add my applier. I can remove the installer now. It's an installer, not a relay. A relay, you have to wear it every time you want to apply something to whatever mesh you're applying it to. An installer, it says, hey, be active, listen for Omega when she's going to use it, and it goes okay. So I only have to use the installer again if things aren't working right, something's misbehaving, something's broken, then make sure you're going to go back, click your installer, get everything listening again, make sure everything seems alright. So for Pink Fuel, every company's got a different HUD. For Pink Fuel, I'm going to select an eyebrow color. That's how you get the skin onto the head. Other HUDs, you'll see, if I add this HUD, you'll see it's just 3 buttons. So I just click, click, click. Pink Fuel gives more options, so I'm going to go with a blonde. For now, pick a blonde eyebrow, wait for that to apply. You can see it's working slowly. So we're waiting for that to go through. Here, let me turn off my AO. Sorry about that, guys. And we'll go down to pose stand like we did in the last video. That's better. There she is. So you can see there's my Pink Fuel Kiyomi face. Now, looking at her right now, you can see I'm having some weird issue with the eyelashes. You see how the eyelashes are kind of like half cleared out, and when I blink it gets all funky and stuff. That is the default avatar eyes sitting in front of my mesh eyelashes and creating an alpha clash. So I'm going to fix that real quick. I'm going to go into Appearance, Edit Shape. I'm going to go over to my eyes. I'm going to change my eye size to 0. Oh, sorry. You know what? Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. That might help, right? Alright, so I'm going to change my eye size to 0. You can see it's already gotten like way better. Just to be safe, space. I'm going to change my depth to 0 too. And you can see like there was even a shadow there for some reason. You see when I move that? Like Second Life's registering the shadow of my former face on my mesh face. That's really crazy. So that gets rid of that for me. And you can also do eyelash length down to 0 just to be extra super safe if you haven't done that. And then I'm going to save that. I don't know why I didn't have it saved before anyhow. Oh, I know why, because that wasn't the body shape I wanted to change, but that's alright. So, now we're back. My lashes look much, much better. Look how cool that is. Now, since I have my makeup layer on, I can go ahead down through the thing. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, let's put on some purple makeup here, get some purple eyeshadow going, and then we'll throw on some lipstick so you guys can see that. So now I can tell my makeup layer is definitely working. My skin has applied. If you have another hair base you want to use, or you want to put on some freckles, we can do some freckles real quick. And then let's say we have another hair base. Here is a Pink Fuel hair base. I'll add that real quick. I think that's actually, no, here it comes. There it is. So I can just click on that, and my hair base is going to swap over for me. So now I've got my head how I want, and you guys are going, but it doesn't match your body, right? When you purchase your head skin from whatever store you purchase it from, some companies include the body within your purchase. Other companies, they might sell the body applier elsewhere. It just depends on where you shop. Make sure when you shop that you make sure the shop sells an applier that works both on your head and your body. Obviously Omega works on most heads and most bodies, but there are some companies who don't service every company, and some places don't make Omega, so make sure you're grabbing something that will work on both. But I know that this one does, so I'm going to go ahead and add my body applier and get this looking good. So we got that. Now I'm a nice match going on today. You can see there's a bit of a line at the neck. You see that? It's looking kind of funky. Like right here I got that shade. That's kind of always going to be there, but we can make it look a little better. And you can see at the back here, let me see how close I can get. You see that weird lip right there? I've got like an edge. Maybe that's better. That's just things not lining up quite right. Okay, so now that I know how to use Omega and I got everything looking good, now we're going to get nitpicky. So let me go in, and there are 3 places I want to play around with this, okay? So I'm going to go back into Edit Appearance, edit my shape, and I think neck is in torso. Yes, neck thickness. So 32 is pretty big. I don't know why it was that big, probably from my old pre-mesh shape, but I'm going to take it down to, let's say, 20. And then I can close out of there. What's really going to matter, and you might want to leave that open, it's up to you, but what's really going to matter is in your body HUD and in your head HUD. So what I need to do is find my Matria HUD, which I keep in. I have this folder called Body Blank, and it's just me naked. It's just my head and my body, and my boob physics. No hair, no nothing. It's just basic me, and that's how I start every outfit. I just copy this over into a new folder, throw the clothes over it, and voila, I have my new outfit done. I'm weird, I'm OCD. Most people probably don't have anything like that. Do it if you like, don't if you don't. But you can see here I'm going to pull up my Matria HUD, and I'm also going to grab that Sadie HUD. Where did that go? There we go. And we're going to add that. And get these two out of each other's way. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to close out of my inventory and close out of this so I can use my screen and show you guys what I'm doing. But what the plan is here is I'm going to play around with these neck sizes, and there's really no special formula that I've ever found anyhow, but you just want to play around with your neck sizes both in the logo HUD, which is right here, and in your Matria HUD or your SL-Link or whatever mesh body Beliza. If it has a neck sizer, you want to play around in here. I made the neck size 20 inside, so I'm going to start around 20 on both of these just to see. So on the Matria that gives me 24, on the logo that's 20, and I'm just going to kind of cam around my neck and see how I like how that fits. There's a little bit of a bump here that I'm not really liking on the Matria body, so I'm going to actually take that down to an 11, and you can see now I have a big lip sticking out on the head. So I'm going to take the head down to, let's try 15. That's still a little big. Okay, see now 10 gives me a pretty perfect line right there. And if I cam around my neck, I still have a nice line. You can see that kind of shading right there. That's just because the angle of the neck absorbs the light slightly different than the angle of the body. You can just adjust that a little bit playing around with wind light, see what you can get, but ultimately there's always going to be a little bit of a distinction there. Some people like to wear a collar or a bow or a necklace, choker, scarves. Other people, you know, you'll notice some people, they have a head that's almost white and a body that's almost black. Some people care, some people don't. I say do what looks good to you on your screen so that you're not going crazy every day, and then, you know, screw everybody else. I also suggest, whenever possible, when shopping for skins, when shopping for body parts, I always look at myself on midday, Second Life midday setting. It's hideous. It's the worst lighting. It's terrible, but you can usually see every flaw, every imperfection, and you know that anybody who's on a pretty basic system that doesn't have wind light, that's probably not seeing you with shaders and ambient occlusion and all this kind of stuff, if they can see you on Second Life midday with no atmosphere, or what is the advanced lighting mode, without advanced lighting mode on midday, if you can look pretty decent at that setting, I like to think you can look pretty good in most settings, and I'll show you guys that now. Actually, I can let me get rid of these HUDs real quick and show you what I mean. So what I'm first going to do is we'll go to midday. So this is Second Life midday, and it's actually not too bad this time. Sometimes midday can be pretty garish, but it's not looking too awful. And then what I'm going to do is take all my lighting down to kind of pretty basic. So this is like my worst lighting setting that I'll watch, or that I'll see Second Life on. And this is actually kind of how I am day to day on Second Life. But you can always go up if you're not sure how to do it. I used a shortcut, but I'll show you guys. Sun position, midday, and that'll let you see it on midday. And then you can go back to whatever daytime lighting you like. But if you can get yourself looking decent at midday with, you know, this kind of weird light under the nose and you got the bright spots and stuff, if you can get yourself looking good there, then you'll probably look good to most people using Second Life. And then you can start playing around with, okay, well, what if I pick a different, what if I go for a different wind light setting? Am I still going to look okay? And that's when you can start playing around. You can see the line on my neck got even better, but you go to other settings and it's much worse. You just never really know until you start playing around, especially when taking photos. I'm going to go back to what I was on earlier, if I can remember. I think I was on, oh, holy goodness, that's right. So you can see, like right now, the light is really glaring, so you can see that line. But if I play around with the time of day, suddenly, oh, that's not too bad at all. It just depends on where you are, even which direction you're facing can change how your skin looks, how your body parts match. It's just kind of a pain, and you learn to hate it, and we all hate it, but we get by somehow, right? So don't drive yourself crazy trying to match your mesh body parts. At some point there's always going to be a crack, a line, whatever. But having done this, now my Omega's set up, you guys have seen the makeup go on. I want to go over a couple tips and tricks. I know I'm rambling and whatnot, but hopefully you're finding some of this useful. Now that I have everything how I want it, what do we got to do? We got to save it. Can't forget to save it. So you guys know that's my big thing. I got to take it all off to save it. So I'm going to detach in case I crash right now. So I'm headless. Okay, add it back. Now what I want to show you guys is, I know there's a logo head alpha in here, and I know that your mesh body came with a head alpha. Forget them. Delete both your body alpha, or sorry, your body came with a body alpha. Delete your body alpha, delete your head alpha, and you're going to search your inventory for invisible. It helps if you spell it right. And you're going to look for invisible avatar. I have a lot of them just because they're, some companies have started including them in their things. But if you go down to either your clothing folder might have it from the default clothing stuff that comes. But if you go down to the library, it's definitely in there. In your library, Alpha Masks, Invisible Avatar. This renders your entire avatar, top to bottom, invisible with one alpha layer. The benefit to this is often there's a line at the neck. If you're having any kind of issues at the neck, either there's a crack because there's a gap, or even worse, you're seeing your system neck peeking through your mesh neck. That is because you're wearing two alpha layers instead of one. Find yourself this invisible avatar, copy it, paste it into your logo head folder, and that way you know it's at least always with your head. You can paste it into your body folder or your basic folder. If you like my I have that basic blank folder I was telling you guys about. Inside that I keep my, or actually I'm sorry, I don't have my full body avatar in there. I have that in my don't remove folder, in which I keep things RLV locked onto my body. So that I can't accidentally take it off, because it drives me crazy when my alpha comes off and I have weird body parts sticking through and I don't even realize it until somebody says something and I wonder how many hours have I looked like a freak of nature. No, but use invisible avatar. If you have both a mesh head and a mesh body, get rid of all your other alphas. You'll never need them again. Well, you might need them again if Linden Labs changes everything all over again on us. But as of now, you don't need them. Invisible avatar does the trick. Personally, I think this is a big cluttered mess having it in my CD avatar Omega folder, blah 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 blah. So what I do is, now that the head is basically how I want it, I'm going to copy all of this. I know it's saved because I just took it off and put it all back on. You don't have to put it back on to save it, but you do have to take it off. So I took it all off to save it. I'm copying it now, and what I'm going to do is take this and dump it into some other folder. For me, it would have been my Alex head. That's the one I normally wear, but since we're doing this today, I'm going to go down to Body Parts, Sadie, and I'm going to paste it in my Sadie folder. Let me get rid of this. Now what I'm doing here is, this is now going to be my go-to for my head. This is how I organize my inventory. You guys don't have to do this, but it's a tip from somebody who's a little bit OCD. Save you a little bit of trouble digging, unpacking, getting redeliveries and whatnot. Now that I've made a copy, I know that this original here in this logo folder that I got just today out of the box, I know that this head, other than the fact that I've applied a skin and put on some makeup, is fine. I haven't screwed it up. I haven't broken it. I know the scripts are working right now because I just used them all to get all these appliers and everything working great. This head is fine. It's not broken. Everything's cool. So I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm going to take everything off. I'm going to forget this folder exists. I'm not going to use this one when I'm making outfits. I'm not going to use this one when I'm using links, whatever. This is just my backup. This is now my official backup. If something goes wrong, instead of having to go to the store for redelivery or find the original box and unpack it again and all that kind of stuff, I'm just going to go to this folder. I know that this is my backup. I know it's in perfect working condition, and unless something goes wrong on Linden Labs' side, there shouldn't be anything wrong with this unless I start using it again and make something angry. So now I'm going to put on my copy. Oh, and I did forget, I don't want to move my HUD over too. Sorry, that was my bad. Let's get that HUD stuck in there. But now we're going to put all this stuff back on. Oops, I just turned myself around by accident. Well, you guys just got a little tour of my sim. There you go. That's where I'm hanging out. Come on by sometime. But I'm going to take all this stuff, throw it back on so you can see my head again, and we're going to go over some of the troubleshooting issues, headaches, that kind of thing. So one of the big ones, I'm going to change the eyelashes real quick because I am not a big thick lashes kind of girl, and those are just too much for me. So, no, wait, lashes are here. No, there's hiding. There they are. Alright, so we'll get some more subtle lashes, plus it'll be easier for you guys to see my makeup. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go over is the makeup layer is a bit complicated and a bit not complicated. So since the makeup layer is a separate object that I can remove independently of the face, what I can do is use copies of it. So let's say I have an eyeshadow that every time I put the eyeshadow on, it takes off my eyeliner. What I'm going to do is use two copies. See, now I have two copies of it, but I'm going to delete this one for a moment and show you guys what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do right now is put on this makeup layer, and I'm going to throw on, I have an applier that removes everything else. So you can see right now, take a good look at my face before I mess with this. You're going to see I have on the purple eyeshadow, I have on some freckles, and I have on this lipstick, right? When I'm done, I want to have all three of those back again. So, well, actually, I'll probably skip the lipstick. I'm just going to do the freckles and the eyeshadow. So I'm going to throw on this HUD, which I know is going to wipe out my face. This is to prove a point to you guys. So I'm going to throw on full mess and wait for that to make up its mind and start working. There we go. So you can see this is from my Harley Quinn outfit that I have. You can see the freckles have gone. It's harder to tell, but the purple's not there anymore, and then I have this lipstick on. And actually, I'm going to wipe that real quick using my Omega HUD. I'll show you guys that real quick. Or my logo HUD, sorry. Because I didn't want to put the lipstick on, I meant to only do the eyes. So I'm going to just go clear all. It clears all my Omega. But you guys did see that it already had wiped out my lipstick from my skin HUD. So let me put on the Harley makeup again real quick, and we're just going to do the eyes this time. Alright, and so no freckles, no purple eyeshadow. Now if I want to put my eyeshadow on again over top of that, or let's say we'll just go with the freckles this time. I want to add my freckles back. So if I go to throw on the freckles, you can see now I've got this weird thing going on, and it's like, oh, why can't I get everything to work together, right? And you're ready to pull your hair out. Fret not. So what we're going to do first is go back to the eyes that I have here. You see those? I'm going to add that HUD again and put those on, because I know that wipes everything out. So I want to put that on first so that I don't accidentally wipe out things later. Get rid of that HUD, and what I'm going to do is take off this makeup layer. Completely remove it. And then I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. Not paste a link, I'm going to actually paste a copy of it. And then I'm going to wear the copy. Not the original, I'm going to wear the copy. And you can see I got that stuff coming on. But now I'm going to go back to my makeup HUD, and I'm going to put that purple eyeshadow back on. And you can see that's back. And I'm going to put my freckles back on. And I have freckles. Now you guys are going, okay, that's great, but now you don't have your Harley Quinn stuff on, so that's pretty stupid. You just screwed it up. Or did I? Now I can add that original one that had the Harley makeup on over top of this one, and now I have a little bit of purple back there. You can see a little bit of purple. I have my freckles, and I have my Harley Quinn eyeshadow. Now sometimes depending on the order you put these on, they might not match up very well and play nice. So let's try the other way and see if it looks kind of messed up, and I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, so now you can see when I put on this one, when I put on the copy second, it makes this weird halo around that, but if you guys watch, all I have to do is switch the order and it looks fine. So sometimes you have to play around with the order that you're putting the layers on. I don't know why putting one on before the other matters, but for some reason it does. But it does work. You can still do that. And so now that I've got all this done, I can also add that lipstick back or put another one on. So we'll let's try this one and see what that one looks like. Oh, and see, now it messed with the eyes again, so I'm going to try to take that off. We'll see how that does. And we'll add it again. And see, everything's fine. It's just one of those funky Second Life things you got to learn to live with. So now we've got that all looking good. I want to show you guys something else. And I'm going to take off this tattoo layer so you guys can see. And let me make the lips a lot darker so you guys can really get a good look at this. Okay, so sometimes what happens is, you know, I'm wearing this makeup layer right now with the default expression on. And then, you know, I go and change outfits and I take this makeup layer off and I'm going to go off and do other things. And I did a photo shoot, and when I finished the photo shoot, I was wearing something with a little bit more of a smile on it, so my face looks like that now. And then I go back to this outfit and I put my makeup layer back on, and what the heck is wrong with my face, right? Look at my lips. Like, that's really, yeah. All you have to do is change your expression to any other expression and then back to the one you want it to be. So I'm going to say, okay, I'll move it over here and then I'll put it back there. It's just because you had expression A on the face and then you changed to expression B, but you took off the makeup layer in between, and so the makeup layer doesn't know that you're now wearing expression B. So you just need to tell the makeup layer, oh hey, wear this expression over here. I forgot I changed it while you were off having your coffee break. So just make sure you get that stuck back on there and you're good to go. Trying to think if there's anything else to go with you guys, go over with you guys, but that's pretty much it. Omega is fairly straightforward. Like I said, it's an installer, so once you've got everything looking how you want to look, you don't have to use it again unless something's broken and misbehaving. And just for the record, not all appliers look like the pink fuel one. You know, this one has the eyebrows, the lipstick, the freckles, all that kind of stuff, but some of them are very basic, like I showed you this Alter Ego one I have. It's literally just 3 buttons. It says Brow 1, Brow 2, Brow 3. We can see what that looks like if you guys want. I have no idea which one this is. This is Ailing, I can't ever say that name. Ailing? Of course I picked the one. I can never say that name. I love the way it's spelled. It's cute spelling, but I never know how people pronounce that. But there you go. So that's what that one looks like. And then actually, I even have, here's a, if you want to see what just a makeup applier looks like, this is just lips. If it decides to res, there we go. So, you know, this one's all lips. It doesn't do skin, it only does lips. You know, and then you're just picking whatever lip effect you want. But that's, you know, just your basic kind of how do I use my head, how do I get Omega to cooperate, all that kind of stuff. I don't know why this lip tint doesn't want to work with me. Am I not wearing, oh, I'm not wearing either makeup layer. That would be why. So, you know, and then you can just change your lipstick color to whatever you're after. And that's one thing I should probably go over real quick. If you notice, I wore the makeup layer, I had my eyeshadow on, or applied, and now when I blink, the eyes, oh no, now they're okay. I was gonna say, sometimes the eyes start kind of reflecting the last eyeshadow you applied. Generally, if you just clear Omega, you should be good on that. I don't know why it happens occasionally, but it's not a huge deal. You just give it a good clear, and or change the eyeshadow again, and it usually clears itself up. And I guess that about covers everything. If you guys have questions, there's the logo update group. If you have any questions, need help while you're doing things, playing with your head, the girls in there are incredibly helpful, so are the guys. Sorry, I hate when I do that. The people in the logo update group are incredibly helpful if you need help with anything. And there's always messaging Max and Polly directly if you get stuck in a real pinch and nobody seems to be able to help you, or you can message me. I'm listed in the group as moderator if you need to find my name. And hopefully this tutorial tutorial has been as helpful as some said the last was. You guys have a great day.